Okay everyone, this is just a brief exercise on the present participles, bearing in mind that we're finishing off the chapter that practiced it with Caesar's death. There's, on this first page, a little bit of information for you to pause, have a read through. At the bottom right you can see there is the part that over here, where we've got, all over here, we've got our little exercise that we're going to go through. So pause it, look through all of this, and then go on to the second page. You might want to ignore the future participle, which is the bit that we have up here, but we are going to be doing it later on, so feel free to read it if you want to. So pause this, have a read, and then move on to the next slide. Okay, here we have the second exercise, or the exercise that you had in the bottom right-hand corner, larger, but I'm afraid slightly more blurry. This first one then we have is Miles, the soldier. Make sure that you recognise that Miles is singular. It's a third declension noun. Miles, the soldier, interfecit, killed, Archimedes, spectantem, watching, looking at his figures. Spectantem, that ending spectantem, telling us that we are dealing there with a present participle. What case is the present participle in, you ask? Well, it's describing Archimedem, it's describing Archimedes, therefore it has to be in the same case as him. Archimedes is in the accusative, spectantem is in the accusative, because the present participle, if you remember, is a verbal adjective, as all participles are, therefore they must go in the same case, number and gender as the noun that they describe. So the soldier killed Archimedes looking at his figures. Hannibal, looking around at everything, incedit, advanced with his foot soldiers, circum spectans, that ans ending. Remember the present participle has the same endings as a third declension adjective, similar to ingen. So Hannibal, while looking at everything, looking around at everything, advanced with his foot soldiers. Samnites, the Samnites, expectabant, were waiting for the Romans. Pergentes there. You've got the expectabant is obviously the imperfect, the pergentes, describing here the Romans, because pergentes could be either a nominative or an accusative ending. So the Samnites were waiting for the Romans proceeding through the angustias, through the, the tunnels or something like that. The Samnites were waiting for the Romans proceeding, pergentes, that is going to be accusative plural of the present participle, proceeding through the tunnels. Next bit, we've got Romulus. Romulus, recensens exercitum, e conspectu quium ablatus est. Recensens is the present participle. Recenso is I review. So Romulus, reviewing the army. Recenses agreeing with Romulus, so it's in the nominative case. Ablatus est was withdrawn, e conspectu, from the sight of the citizens. Was brought away from the sight, was taken away from the sight of the citizens. Poini, the Carthaginians were ascensori. Ascensori here is a future participle. I know that we haven't properly met that yet, but this urus or aurum is a future participle about to do something. So the Carthaginians were about to cross the Alps. Perfugae, latine exclamantes, vigiles excitare incipiunt. The deserters, latine exclamantes, the antes tells us that we've got a present participle here. Shouting out, exclamantes, there's our present participle. Shouting out in Latin, incipiunt, are beginning to wake up the guards. Exclamantes is the present participle. Incipiunt is going to be the present form, third person plural. The deserters, shouting out in Latin, are about to wake up beginning to wake up the guards. Hannibal, confirmant, strengthened the soldiers. Descensoros. Descensoros here is a future participle again, the oros, telling us that we're dealing with a future participle. Hannibal strengthened the soldiers about to go down into Italy. Number 8, vigiles, the guards. Simulantes, the antes, telling us that we're dealing with a present participle. Pretending deditionem, pretending surrender. Simulantes, it is obviously going to be nominative plural, describing that vigiles that we have there. So, the guards, pretending surrender. Trepidant, hesitate, bustle around the gate. Romani, the Romans, saw Marcellus cadentem, entem there, the present participle ending. Saw Marcellus falling from his horse. Cadenten there, a present participle describing Marcellum, the accusative masculine singular. And last of all, we've got Crispinus, Crispinus, metuens, while fearing pain. You've got there the metuens, while fearing dolem pain. Mitet, it's actually future tense there, will send messengers to his allies. The metuens there, present participle, nominative, masculine singular, describing Crispinus. And that's our present participles, and indeed our future participles in an exercise for you. Thanks.